What's good, people? It's your boy Fresh. Welcome to the channel. Today we'll be reviewing the Apple Watch after the hype. All right, let's jump right into it. So the unboxing experience. So this is, if and when you decide to get an Apple Watch, this is what you're gonna see. Of course, I have here the Sport Edition. So this may differ between, different versions that you get. There's the Apple Watch Edition that looks a little bit different. It's in a smaller square box instead of this longer rectangular box. But I mean, as expected from Apple, they always come through when it comes down to packaging on their phones or tablets. And I didn't expect anything less when it came down to the watch. I mean, I think the reason why this is so expensive, it's $350 for this watch, and this is the 42 millimeter. And I'm thinking the reason why it's so expensive is because of the packaging. But overall, the presentation is there. It looks amazing. Apple definitely doesn't cut any corners when it comes down to giving you a great experience when unboxing their product. All right, now let's get into the actual product overview. We saw the box, that looks amazing, but let's look at the actual product, right? So the Apple Watch, as with all other Apple devices, it looks amazing. It's machined beautifully. It's made out of all of aluminum. This is the Space Gray Sport Edition. It's the 42 millimeter, and the band I have on there is leather, but it's not the one that came from Apple because those are $150 a pop, and I figured I'd go with the cheaper third-party alternative. But overall, this is a solid build quality on this watch. Okay, so we've come to the conclusion that this thing looks nice, it's built well, it's in a nice box, but what does it actually do for you? So I'm going to be going over some of the applications that I use personally that brings it to life for me, give you some real world experiences, as well as give you my history when it comes down to using smartwatches. So I've actually used the Moto 360, of course. I've used the Gear 2 and the original Gear. One thing that sets this apart is the applications that you can use on the Apple Watch. So I use the Hue Strips app all the time. As you can see, it takes a little while to load. It's gotten better after watchOS 2, but I actually use it to control the color of the lights on my setup, as well as the lights in my living room. So that's pretty convenient. I use that all the time. I also use the Facebook Messenger a lot. So when I'm actually replying to friends and family and clients, I can actually just hit the little microphone and reply from speech to text. Another update after watchOS 2 is the fact that it reads your voice much better. That's improved a ton. Also, I've used the Maps application. So when I was in downtown Chicago, walking down Michigan Avenue trying to find the nearest Giordano's, I was getting turn-by-turn directions on my wrist, which is amazing. So this isn't a necessity by any means, but it does amplify your experience when using it in conjunction with your iPhone. And that's something that really sets it apart for me. Don't get me wrong, you can use your iPhone separately from the Apple Watch and be just fine. The Apple Watch is not a necessity, but it definitely is an added bonus. When you use them together, it feels like one cohesive, fluid piece of technology. It doesn't feel like a watch and then a phone. It feels like it's all together, and that's something that was never really accomplished on some of the other smartwatches that I've used, and they definitely knocked it out of the park when it comes down to just making that ecosystem feel fluid. And that's something that's clearly evident when using it with your phone and Apple Pay. So whenever I see I can use Apple Pay, I use it without a doubt. I shock and astonish people around me, customers that are waiting to pay behind me. I've used it at vending machines. I've used it, at Starbucks. I've used it almost everywhere I can, and it's something that definitely feels amazing. I definitely recommend it for just that one experience alone. Being able to pay with your wrist is something that everyone should be able to do. All right, so let's talk accessories. Now, quick disclaimer, never buy accessories from Apple. They are overpriced and ridiculous. I have a leather band that's magnetic that I got off Amazon for 30 bucks, and you can get it on Apple's website for 150. So there you go, $120 difference. But these are two stands that I wanted to go ahead and bring to the forefront that complete the experience for me. They look like, they have that MacBook look to them. They're from Spigen. So they're one for my iPhone and there's one for my Apple Watch. And it all just brings it together once again, giving you that nice cohesive experience. It matches all the other Apple things, and they're pretty cool. So thumbs up for me. And now for my final thoughts. Should you go out and buy an Apple Watch? For sure, if you got the money, go ahead and grab one. You don't need it. It's not a necessity, but it definitely does amplify your experience with your phone, and they retain their value pretty well. So if a new one comes out, you can just resell this one and not spend too much money on it. But that's about it for me, guys. It's been a pleasure as usual. I thank you guys for sticking around to the end. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. If you want to see more content like it, hit the subscribe button. Right here, you'll see some of the videos that I've done recently. Go ahead and click on them and check them out. But all in all, it's been a pleasure. You guys guys stay safe, stay fresh. Peace.